tapping, the tree would have attained a guide measurement of 50 centimeters. And again, we are advanced. At over 70% of the trees would have obtained this measurement before you commence tapping. Why? For economic reasons. Because if you have less than 70%, you are going to be having a very large area assigned to a tapper, whereas you have few trees you are tapping. I don't know if somebody is getting it.
Yes.
Because if you look at this plantation, like for example, you see that there are some trees that is not yet being tapped. Even as old as the plantation. Are you getting it? So if you have too many trees in that plantation that is not being tapped as a result of immaturity, you are just having few. That means if you want to give your tapper or your worker a task, for example, you are giving 400, you are going to give the person a very big area to complete the 400. And what happens? That brings in fatigue because the person is covering a large area. So the proficiency will no longer be there. You see that tapper cannot tap well with skill. What happens when somebody is tired? Is that it damage your tree or throw away your latest, or as the case may be. Then in the long run, you see that you are losing something. So now, have you attained, or have you ascertained rather, that your tree have attained maturity? The next thing you do is your marking. You don't just go to plantation and start tapping. First, determine the maturity. Second, you mark. Now, what is marking? Marking is the vertical division of the tree into two equal halves and creating of your tapping cuts. The vertical division, if you look at the trees in this plantation, you see the vertical lines, artificial lines that are dividing the tree into two equal halves. We will discuss why we do that. Are you getting it now? And creating your tapping cut. Now, when marking, there are things you put into cognizance. When marking, remember you are dividing the tree into two equal halves, which will represent your panel. The area you are tapping is what we call panel. This line that divide, we call it channel. So now, when dividing this tree, you are going to be creating two panels, which is referred to as A and B. So now, when marking, we are advised that the tapping panel should be off the direction of the sun. It should not be facing the sun. Okay. It should be facing the north and the south, as you can see. The north and the south. At no time will you see any panel facing this area. You know why? Remember, when you are tapping, you are going to be cutting the tree. You are going to be creating injury on the tree. And when you cut, you are going to be having a very soft and delicate tissue being exposed. Hello? Yeah. So when this is done and that area you cut is directly exposed to sun rays, it can cause dieback. For example, now this plantation is covered. You get to some plantation that just matured, they are not fully covered. Yes. Now, even this one we are saying is covered, like for example, there's a dead tree here, there's an opening here. So if I open this cut, if I make a fresh cut, and it is open to sun rays, you know what sun rays is? When the sun is rising, you see that direct lines coming. When the cut is exposed to direct sun rays, because of the softness of the tissue that is being exposed, it can cause dieback. And when there is dieback, that place cannot heal. So, in some cases, even when you don't injure the cambium, because you expose the cambium to the sun, it may not be able to heal well, and that may cause problem for you. So these are the reasons why you remove it from the direction of it. So how do we achieve this? We can do it in two ways, but because of time, I will just explain one while we do one. So make sure that you divide this tree into two equal halves. Equal halves, remember we said, not just any half. So make sure you divide this tree into two equal halves. What you can use twine. Twine and a nail, a small nail or a small bolt tied at the middle. So what happens when you come in the morning when the sun is just rising? Facing the sun perpendicularly, you create your channel. Remember we said the panel should be off the direction of the sun. So the channel is going to be in the direction of the sun. Does it make sense? Okay, then you make your front channel. And after making this front channel, what you're going to do is to place your bolts that you tied at the middle of that twine here in that cut image. And try to marry the other two ends at the other side. Okay. So the point it touches each other is the exact half of the tree. Okay. Does it make sense? But another way, because doing that again... Can you come again, please? Now, if I have a twine, for instance, and a bolt is tied at the middle, okay, if I have a twine, for instance, now we're going to take this as a bolt. Let's take this leaf as a bolt, tied at the center of the twine. Now, after creating this channel, as I said, after creating this channel, what I'm going to do is to let the boat rest here and try to marry both ends of this rope at the other side. Wherever it touches, will give me the exact half of the tree, which I'm going to mark. That is one. Then number two, that one is also going to take time, but it's good because it's going to give you very accurate results. You can also come in the morning as a result of continuous practice. When you are now doing it continuously, you may become, very used to it. Like some of the markers we have, because those marking are also different from those tapping. Like some of the markers we have, what do we do? What do? They come very early in the morning when the sun is rising, create a channel here, which may be referred to as channel A. Are you getting it now? You also come this way, facing this, backing the sun this time perpendicularly. Though you are facing it before. So now you are not backing it. Huh? Then create another cut as well. And when they do this, and you take your measurements, you'll be shocked they divided the tree into two equal halves. Why? Because they've been doing it for time. But for those that are just starting, I advise use twine. Are you getting it? Tapping cut is created. It should be 30 degrees to an imaginary horizontal line. What does that mean? This is a vertical line. You agree with me? So an imaginary horizontal line should come like this. You are imagining it is not there. So what they are saying is that the point where your tapping cut touches your channel should be 30 degrees. So now what we are going to do now. If you look at that, you decide to use your tapping knife to cut or make a cut. You cannot get 30 degrees. Is it not true? So that made us to prepare this device known as a template. Please, if you don't have template in your farm and you are yet to open your plantation, get a template. If you don't have, they are not cost. If you don't have a carpenter can do it for you. All you just need is to understand the formula, the idea. If you don't have a caliper in your farm and you are yet to open your plantation, get a caliper. Do you know why? You see farmer complain or businessmen complain. You see two. I want to tap on.
Go back.
So when you've done this, we've completed marking every degree. Now it is not just for formality. People may just say, why do we do that? Now make it just say fine. No. It's not for formality. Now the latest vessels that carry these letters present in this back of this tree run spirally from bottom left to upper right. You stake yam before. When you stake your yam, you see that vine when it is coming. You see the way it goes. So that's how these vines, these latiferous vessels, are arranged at the back of this tree. Are you getting it? And they are arranged in such angle that it is when you cut in this 30 degree, you cut across most of these latest vessels. Hello? Now if you look at the cut is running from upper left to lower right. And meanwhile, the latiferous vessels are running from bottom left to upper right. So you are cutting an opposite direction. So that you cut across. But if you cut the other way, you are going to be cutting along. Somebody getting me? So you are going to be cutting along. So when you cut this way, you are cutting across. And it is when you cut in this angle that you cut across most of the latest vessels. Are you getting it now? So it is when you cut like this, you are going to get more latest because you are cutting across most of the latest vessels. Hello? Okay, now let's also see the depth of cuts. Your tapping cut should be deep. Remember, it should not get to the cambium. Hello? The deeper you cut, the better for you. But shouldn't get to the cambium. So by the time you remove the cambium, you're going to be having a problem as well. So let your tapping cut be deep and leave approximately about 1 millimeter of the top of your back, the back before the cambium. And again, your back consumption, you also talked about it yesterday. Back consumption is the one you shave off when you are tapping. Hello? If you are tapping, for example, now I want to tap this place. The one I'm going to cut off is the back I'm talking about. Now, do you see what I'm cutting? It should not be more than this. It should not be more than 1 millimeter. The reason being that even if you cut so wide, you are going to be cutting across the same number of latest vessels. Is somebody there? Now remember we said that the latest vessels are arranged spirally from bottom left to upper right. Just like you have your yam back. Continuously to the top. So if you cut small, you are going to be cutting across the same number of latest vessels as if you cut wide. Okay. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Because they are running continuously. So if I cut small like this, I have cut across the same number. So if I now decide to shave it to 10 centimeters, I'm also cutting across the same number. So what have I done? I've just wasted the bag. The bag I would have tapped for maybe 1 month, I've just shaved it off one day. And I'm going to get the same quantity of latest I would have gotten if I just cut 1 centimeter. So by doing this, you are conserving the back of your tree. I was also told the best time to tap is early in the morning when the tuber pressure is high. Because our sun is coming out just as we have now, transpiration is occurring. Water is losing from this plant and the quantity of latest is reducing as a result of low pressure. Are you getting it now? So you should tap early in the morning. So then after marking, remember we just marked. Is that not true? You now keep. No, sorry sir. Sorry sir. So you now keep. Hello? You now keep. We are told kitting is the fixing of these materials. Your spout, your cup hanger and your cup. Is that not true? To your tree. Now when kitting, there are things we are advised on. Please let us also follow it. When kitting, your spout should be placed about 3 centimeters from where the tapping cord touches the channel. This is a spout. We have a spout here. Now this spout is just fabricated from metal stripe. You know that metal stripe they used to hold roof then when you are building. You cut it and beat it to one thing that is space, just as I have here now from year to year, for instance. You are going to be having some instance, you are going to be having your latest diverting, and then you are wasting your latest. Are you getting it? That's why it should be closed, so that before you get to the spout and its entry. And again, when you are also fixing your spout, should be about 3 centimeters again from the spout. Somebody was asking, what if you make it 139? 139 may be too long, 139 may be here. Are you getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you know why again you should also maintain close range between the spout and the cup? You see this one is dropping now. Do you see the way it's dropping now? Now, if the distance is too far and there's wind after tapping, it can also cause splashing. But if it is close, it's going to be, whether wind or not, it's going to be getting into the cup. So that is why you are advised. Don't look at it that after tapping sometime, I'll still move this thing. That is your work. You should be moving it. I go to the next tree, I put it there, start tapping again. So now you are going to be spreading. So please don't tap. Only 1 day tapping, no go. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish again. Because of only 1 day tapping, the money on one seed today, then you now stop future flow. And if you want to correct it, it's going to cost you money because you need fungal-based herbicides like calypsin and others, Parasitic, that you can use to correct those kind of abnormalities. So that's why it's advised. Don't just tap when it is threatening to rain or when it's also rain. So now after kitting, just like we've done, then we can do tapping. We were told yesterday tapping is the controlled wounding of matured rubber tree bark with the aim of extracting its economic liquid, which is latest, and at the same time preserving the lifespan of the tree. Now the average lifespan of rubber tree is 35 years, as the case may be. Now what we are saying is that when you are tapping, remember you are causing injury on this tree. The fact that you are causing injury on this tree should not make this tree to die before its time. That's where preservation of lifespan comes in. For example, you plant two trees, 1 year, 1 year, and you are tapping this one. You are not tapping the other one. The fact that you are tapping this one should not make this one die first before that one. If this one died first before that, what you did is not tapping, you only kill the tree. Are you getting it? So that is why we introduce all those sharing into tools, so that when you are tapping, it has one place there that is healing, that is collecting food, that is doing everything. And again, you also told when tapping, please don't reach the cambium, so that the tree is regenerating. Like here now, you can see it's regenerating. As it's regenerating, the tree is recovering. Are you getting it now? So all those tactics are being put in place to make sure that the lifespan of the tree is preserved. And we also practice what we call S2D2, for instance. If you tap this tree today, tomorrow you are not going to tap the tree. You are going to allow it rest. Day after tomorrow you tap again. That's S2D2. You can do S2D3. And even if you are stimulating, you can even do S2D6, as the case may be, which means you tap one tree every 6 days. But you are stimulating. You know what stimulant?
Yes, yes.
Stimulant is stimulation. You are putting Vites or Etafone or what Motex as the case may be. So if you are doing that, you can practice S2 D6 as the case may be. But if you are not applying such, S2D3 is perfect one. Then you can tap. Now we've done tapping before. I think we'll see tapping. Process of cutting this place and removing that back so that you can have your latest flow is what we call tapping. Now, inside the cup. Is it not true? The next day you collect it. So in that case, you are going to be having small cup lumps. Is that not true? Like the one you remove. If I remove this one, the one you are going to have. But what we do, we collect latex. Why? So at times, customers buy latex. That is that liquid one. You know, latex is even more costly compared to the coagula. It's costlier. If you're a farmer, you said latex is better to coagula, but no one is bad. Now, is it that we want to sell to maybe you want to sell to customer as latex, and number two, it also enables us have it in a bulky form instead of having it small. What do we do? 2 hours later, we collect with a galvanized bucket. Please, you can see this bucket. When you are collecting latex, please, you are advised to use materials that is by the time you coagulate it, you leave it there. So all these are impurities. All those are things that will contaminate your latex. So please use clean cup, plastic cup, as you can see. You can also get aluminum cups. Aluminum, not metal. It should be aluminum because aluminum will not rust. Even if you are using any form of iron, it should be electroplated with aluminum or copper, things that will not rust. Sorry, things that will not rust. Sorry, sir. So now, use this kind of material to collect, and 2 hours later you are going to collect using a galvanized bucket. Like this bucket now, this is not aluminum. Hello? Yeah. But what they do, they electroplated it with stainless steel. Are you getting it now? Material that is not going to rust on time. Then again, after collection with your bucket from tree to tree, you are going to be using this to collect from tree to tree till you fill your bucket. When your bucket is filled, there's what we call coagulating pan, which is this pan you are seeing here now. Now, if you also see this pan was constructed with metal and electroplated with aluminum. Do you see? How to weigh it is easier. Like if you be picking cup and be putting it in a bucket and be using pocket scale. Are you getting it? You are going to be having it in a kind of a big form that it will be easier to weigh using industrial scale, as the case may be. Now this is your pocket scale. What do you use pocket scale for? Remember, after collection, like assume we collected now, the later is still going to be dripping. Hello? We'll call it late drip. It's going to coagulate inside the cup tomorrow. So when you want to tap, we are not going to tap in addition to that one. You are first going to remove that cup lump before you start tapping. So you put that cup lump inside bucket. So this is what we use in weighing those cup lumps in the field. So pocket scale. So in the field you can easily get the scale, the weight of this product. Now, there are things we should. This place you are tapping, now you don't see the tapping before.
Yeah.
Like this place, they tapping before.
This is the first panel.
Yeah, this is the first panel. This area they tapping before. So now, you are going to, so long your tree lives, after 5 years, that's one good thing about rubber. You are going to be repeating your tapping cycle continuously until that tree dies or until you abandon that plantation. So when you consume this place, you are going to go to the other side. But when you tap well, it will take you about 4 to 5 years for this place to be consumed. You were told yesterday. If you tap well, if you are not consuming too much back, yes, you are tapping gently. So it's going to take about 5 years for you to consume, or 4 years. Then you go to the other side and start tapping. Before you consume this thing in 4 years again, this place would have fully regenerated. You come here again and start again. Before you consume this one in another 4 years, this place would have fully regenerated. So you see that every particular point in time, you have a back to tap. In short, that is one of the reasons again you also need to divide into two.